Hey guys, Vegoman here and welcome back to Crasburg once again. How are you guys doing? I do hope you are feeling great. I know I am. I'm super inspired and excited to be back here building with you guys. It's been 2 weeks since the last time I saw you. Today we are working on the surrounding areas of the temple, which is going to be a monastery containing a lot of different buildings and smaller professions and stuff like that. It's also going to be built in a defensive way so that we could potentially withstand a small raid or attack and just kind of protect the valuable things from this temple here. So it's all built to kind of work as some simple defensive area like a castle, but it's not a complete castle. And it's also going to contain a lot of different buildings, such as a hospital. It's going to contain a residential area. It's going to contain smaller temples, kitchens, brewery, smiths, an orphanage for homeless children, and things like that. So it's going to contain a lot of different stuff. So guys, if you're watching this on Thursday, which is the day this was released, tomorrow we are starting a community project together where me, myself, and I, and you, yourself, and you, your parents, your friends, everyone can come on the Darwin Reforged server and build together. I will be there. I will try to be there as much as I can, and I want you guys to be there as much as you can if you want to, of course. And together we're just gonna have a good time this weekend and build a small little thing together, and hopefully everything just is a lot of fun, and it just allows everyone to build together, learn from each other, and to grow as builders and a community. So I really wish to see you guys there. There will be more information on that later. The style we're going for here is a super simplistic style, as you can see, but it has the detail and enough detail to make it pop and make it look super realistic. And that's exactly what I want to do here, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. The style itself is it's mainly just white, and then we have some smaller detailing trims and some small parts just to make some different areas pop, and it just really works, and it's really making it a nice realistic feeling. Currently we're building a small stable, as you can see, built on a diagonal, which is pretty tricky, but it turns out great. We can see we have some cranes and smaller things just to make this whole stable come alive, which is something I really focus on when building, trying to give the buildings character, trying to make the areas feel like people actually live here, make it feel like this building has been built for a purpose, and just give the whole area character. It's super important to me, and I think that's what makes my buildings as good as I like to have them, It's really helping me to take it a few steps further from just building a lot of buildings. But when I started adding character and history and things like that into my buildings, I just love how the buildings looks way more, and it's just so much more immersive to walk around. What you can see here on the screen being built is the residential area, which is going to contain sleeping chambers. We're going to have a small living room and a toilet and everything you need basically to live for the monks and priests and stuff like that. And now we're building a small garden here with a nice tree, which is very important because if you remember, the temple is called the Temple of Epona, which is a god of fertility. So I wanted to kind of embrace that and put that into every single aspect of this build. Make it feel nice and alive and welcoming to everyone that wants to visit here and stay here. And adding a lot of trees, as you can see, and flowers and bushes and vegetation, just to kind of enhance that it's the Temple of Fertility. Which is the main temple of Crasburg. So yeah, I just really want to make it look nice and wealthy and good looking, I guess. This building you're seeing right now in front of you is probably the hardest building I've ever had to done. It's a build that is built with a curve in it. As you can see, it's curving, and the hardest thing here was to do the roof, to make the roof look alright. As you can see, it's a pretty steep roof, and the way that it curves just made it super hard to make it look good. So I'm not super happy, but I think it's as good as I can get it, I guess. So I'm glad just the way it looks. So let me just finish off this building here, and I will see you in first person, where we're going to take a look at every single thing here, walk along the buildings, the size, and all of that stuff. So we're standing in front of this whole mountain, I guess. This small hill here, the Hill of Epona, which is the name of it. Looking at the massive temple on top here, and then the gatehouse for the monastery here. We can walk up this this path here. This was a pain to build, placing all of these layers by hand, but it just adds so much, I think. So this is a gatehouse here. This is not done interior wise. I've done a lot of building for today's episode, so I didn't manage to finish everything. So there'll be something left for next week as well. But that's the gatehouse here, some beautiful gardens. I love how this looks. In here we have the stables. There's a few different stables here, so this would be for, let's say, the noble people and the king or commander. If he wants to come here, he can park his horse here. But then the common people, they would walk, most likely. In here we have these small stable areas. This one here is being fixed. Maybe one of the horses have kicked through the stone and kind of demolished it. So as you can see, they're trying to put it back together here. We have some small windows just to get some fresh air, because if you've ever been inside the stable, you know it doesn't smell too pleasant. So we need to have some ventilation, even though we have these massive gates here. Then we have just some storage up here, some hay, and then some barrels and things. And then a small crane just lifts stuff up and down, because it would be a pain to climb up there. Let's do some parkour and jump down here. Perfect. So that is the stable. Next to the stable we have a pig. A quite big pig, which just lives here, and they will probably slaughter it for food later on. There's a few like animals and stuff like that living inside of the monastery here as well. This right here is the hospital, so we're going to check that out. I haven't showed you guys what the hospital looks like yet, even not even in my live streams. So this is brand new for most of you guys. In here we have this massive hallway. It's a little bit empty. If you have any suggestions on what we can do here, let me know. But it's just a hallway here. And then we have the area for the sick people. They will be sleeping in these beds here and be treated here. And then we have a nice big fireplace to heat everything up. I think this room here is pretty nice looking. So very happy with this room right here. If I'm not mistaken, this room here, yeah, this is empty. So if you have any suggestions what to put here, I'm thinking either more beds or an office. But as I said, I didn't manage to finish everything today, but most of it is done. In here we have some more hospital beds like that, and then we also have some sitting areas and a nice smaller oven to heat this area up. And this is, I guess, for longer staying patients. They would have some more place or space to live in, and then they could sit here and stuff like that. But down below is for emergencies, like let's say there was been a war or something like that. You would bring the wounded people in there. Here we have a small office for the head medicine priest, or I'm not really sure if these are doctors or just the priests practicing some medicine. But yeah, this is his main office here. And then we have some sitting areas, and then upstairs here we have more sitting areas. We have some storage, which is very important for some fresh foods, some medicine, and stuff like that. We can also go up here where we have some more storage like that here, as you can see, on top of the attic there. And there's more storage. And then all the way in the back here, there's a small temple. And this is where you would go if you, let's say you're on your deathbed and you just want to get things straight with the gods. So this is Urakis, the god of death. And he's not a bad guy in this religion. He's a good guy, and a little bit bad, of course, but you would pray to him to get a good afterlife. So that's kind of, yeah, you would get here and pray to this guy, but you also have all the different gods here if you want to pray to them. So there's 5 gods in this religion here. Yeah, it's nice and detailed and looking like a temple, I guess. Very, very happy with how that turned out. So that is for all the patients, and also the priests and stuff could use that if they want to. Of course, we have the massive temple up here, which most of the priests would use if they would wanted to go to the temple. So guys, if you have any ideas what to put in these small empty rooms here, let me know. I will show you some of the details on the windows here as well, because I think they look brilliant. Not all of these is completely by me. Some of these I've stolen a little bit from other people on the server here by placing the tables here inside an item frame. You kind of flip it like that and put it in front. It looks like some nice barricade on the windows here, or just nice framing. It looks super nice. So yeah, I kind of stole that, but the rest should be pretty new, I guess, to me. So yeah, nicely detailed, and that kind of makes this whole area and building pop, because the rest of the building is just super plain and bland, but this windows really is filled with details. Then we have some more gardens here. We have a small staircase which will lead into the crypts, which now is empty right here. So that is something we will do for maybe next episode or later down here. But as you can see, there's just a lot of trees and flowers, just making this area feel so nice and thriving. This small gate here is separating the private area of the monastery from the public areas. So in here we're gonna have the residential area for the priests, we're gonna have the kitchen, the brewery, the smith, and things like that. There's also some chickens living here, because you need some eggs, I guess. In here there's just a lot of storage. You can go up here as well. More storage, and then there's a small watchtower here. You can watch. Let's say there's some small siege or anything. You can sit here and make sure no one's getting through the gate down below. So that's the main area right here. Then we have the residential area. I'm going to check that out later. I'm just going to check out the rest of this diagonal building here. I'm just going to have some more to drink here. My throat is getting really dry. In here we have the blacksmith, and he's currently making a chain. You know, this blacksmith won't make too many swords and such, but he's gonna make tools and chains and things you would need to maintain the temple and just do your duty as a monk or priest and stuff. We have a nice bellow here to breathe fire into this massive heart right here, which would heat up the metal. And some storage and things like that. Generally a pretty nice looking blacksmith, I think. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And then we have this cool small porch area, which I love adding these kind of small wooden extensions. As you can see, I probably added too many of them, but I just like the detail it adds. So very happy with how that turned out. Over here we have the bakery. A big baker oven here, and this is supposed to be like dough, which we're making bread out of. And then everything here, just creating breads and things you would need. Yeah, just a small area, but it gets the job done and produces enough bread and things like that for the people living here. This right here is the residential area. This is where the priests and monks and stuff will be living. So they have this big open hallway here. Inside here we have the living area, where they will be spending most of the daytime if they're not working, if they're not praying and healing people and, you know, doing their duty. They can stay here, eat some food, play some games, and just kind of relax. You know, priests and stuff would probably be very wealthy because of how the religion was pretty powerful. So nice area here, just relax and spend some time. Can I get out? Thank you. And then we have some storage for firewood and just general storage here. Out here we have a small backyard kind of thing. This is kind of, yeah, just built on top of the cliff here. We have a birdhouse to feed them, and then we have a toilet here, so you would go in here and then poop, and it would just go straight over the edge here, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. So that's that. We can go upstairs here. We have the sleeping quarters. So then there's two chambers here. So one of them is for women, right here. So there's, I think there's 12 bed spaces for the women here. And then some nice view overlooking the rest of the town here. Probably looking most over the docks. Yeah, the docks would be straight down here. So that's going to be cool looking at the new ships coming in and stuff like that. And then we have another chamber here, which probably is for the men or women. It doesn't really matter. It could be switched. And then we have some nice windows here as well, overlooking this area with 12 more bed spaces. So 24 women and men living here. We can go upstairs. There's more bed spaces, and this would be for like apprentices and people that is not priests yet, probably just learning to become a priest. They would sleep here. And then we have some storage here to just fill up the space, and you know, there's a lot of stuff you would probably have to store in here. So yeah, decent amount of storage right here. It looks pretty nice, and got some, well, it's kind of hard to look out, but you can imagine the view from here overlooking the docks. So yeah, very happy with this interior here. We can do some parkour, jump down, break our legs, but who cares? Who cares? Then we have the curved building, which is the final building for today. We still got the bell tower to do, which will be right here, and then we got the crypts and some rooms to do. So there's still a little bit more to do here, but I just want to get this episode out to you guys. In here we have the kitchen. This is a simple kitchen area. We have some cupboards and stuff to produce food, and then 2 big furnaces and ovens to steak the food, I guess, cook the food. Yeah, so it kind of gets the job done in here. I will try to keep this video not too much longer than needed, so let's hurry up here. Here we have the brewery with some massive tanks and this oven here to heat it up, and you know, I'm not an expert on how this works, but I guess it kind of resembles a brewery here. Looks kind of neat. And then the orphanage is in here. We're gonna check that out last. What is... Oh yeah, that's the window. Alright, we're gonna check that out later. But first I want to go upstairs in the stair tower here and into the feast hall, which contains 2 big tables here, and it would probably fit most of the people here. And it's built on a curve, as you can see, so it's kind of tricky to make it look good, but it works. I'm happy with it. A nice fireplace to heat this room up, and yeah, looking pretty nice in here. Out here we have a small balcony, so you can transfer food up here. Just fill up the barrel or the crate, and then just lift it up here using this wheel, and then you can serve the people in here. So just a more convenient way of serving the guys staying here, or the girls and gals being here. And then we have a balcony overlooking the courtyard here, which I like it. I really like it. So yeah, upstairs the attic is not finished yet, so definitely gonna do that as well for next episode or a later episode. But that's it for this house right here. And then we have the orphanage right here. This is, I tried to make it look cozy, so it's wooden interiors like this. This is the area where they would be staying and eating, and you know, like the living quarters with a big fireplace to heat everything up. It's nice and cozy. And then we have the pooper here where they would do their thing. We can go upstairs, up this small stair tower right here, and then we have a small sitting area, and then the bedrooms, which contains a lot of beds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so 28 bed spaces here, because it's bunk beds. And we got a small oven here to heat everything up, and some nice woodwork in the ceiling here. So this is where all the homeless children, or a lot of the homeless children, would be living. Up here there's some more storage in the attic here, which looks nice. So that is pretty much it for the monastery currently at Crasburg, surrounding the temple of Epona, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed. If so, make sure to smack that like button, and if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Vegoman, and I'm out.